Hello my people, welcome back once more again. Allow me to try and break down the requirements that you need to have as a teacher before you come to teach in the US. The first requirement is having a financial statement from the bank. This is a document that will simply demonstrate that you can financially support yourself while you are in the US. So it typically shows that you have enough funds to cover your living expenses as you carry out the exchange teacher program. And that is the reason as to why you need to have a good financial statement from the bank. That is number one. Apart from having a financial statement from your local bank back in your country, you also need to have, but then before I mention what I have to mention, I have to insist that at least have some good funds in your bank account. Some different organizations will require different. Others will talk of 500,000, your local currency that is, others 300, others 400. So have something tangible in your bank account. Valid teaching credentials. You must have a teaching qualification, such as a degree in education or subject degree that you are going to apply for to teach in the US before you start thinking of you want to come. So it must be a subject specific, that is a subject specific degree and the appropriate teaching certification for the position that you're applying for. Let's say you're applying for the position of teaching mathematics. Then one of your subjects at the university as a teacher must be mathematics. Let's say you're applying for chemistry, then you must have done chemistry at the university as one of your teaching subjects. Apart from that, we are also talking about another very essential document is what we call proof of English proficiency. Either maybe you can do IELTS or either you can do the TOEFL exam, depending on the program's requirement. Some of the programs will just require you to have a letter from your university where you studied your undergraduate degree, showing that your undergraduate degree was done in English. So it depends with the various programs. Others will require you to have the TOEFL certificate or you submit the test scores, or others will require you to have the IELTS. Depending on the program's requirement, ensure that you have a proof for English proficiency as a teacher. Then a driving license from your home country. This might be optional, but it is also helpful because in most cases, sometimes it might be required. In fact, other organizations will render your document non-valid immediately when they see that you don't have the driving license. Others may treat it as an option, but then you need to, because you never know where your school will be located. You might get a school in the US, but then it is in a rural setup. It means there is no public transport. And then with public transport, it is simply implies that you've got to use your own means to go to school. So knowing how to drive and having a valid driving license from your back country, it is to your own advantage. So while you also run up and down planning on coming to teach here, ensure that you have a valid driving license. The next document is certificate of good conduct, or what some people talk of police clearance certificate. This document is required to prove you have a clean criminal record in your home country. A background check is a critical part for the process, and the US government will require this clearance for your safety and to ensure the protection of what? Of students. So before anything, you have to ensure that you have a certificate of good conduct, or what we sometimes call police clearance certificate. Stick around, watch the video. I will be attaching these particular requirements in the comment section as the first comment. Therefore, subscribe for us, like, share, and let's do this together, as we've always said, because we will want to see many people come over here, teach, exchange the cultures, learn from the American culture, and probably take the experience back home. Proof of health insurance is the next requirement for you to come and teach in the US. Coming to teach here, medical insurance is a must, as J1 visa holders are required to have health insurance coverage during their stay in the US. So you must provide evidence of such kind of an insurance coverage, which typically meets the minimum requirements set by the US Department of State to show that you are able to take care of yourself in case you are sick, or in case you need what? In case you need medication. Apart from that, we are also talking about medical examinations. Sometimes it is required depending with your program and also depending with the state. Remember, you are coming to handle children, and therefore some people might require that you have health, you have to undergo what you're calling what? Medical examination. In certain cases, a medical exam may be required before applying for the visa, especially if you are applying for a program that involves direct contact with children or vulnerable population. So they might want to know what is the state of your health. Therefore, it might be a necessity in some cases. Apart from that, there might be the aspect of maybe additional documents, probably maybe depending on the specific J1 teaching program that you are applying for, and this might include a signed contract with the US school. Remember, that is your employer. So you must have a contract before leaving your home country, showing that you're coming to work in the US, how much money you're coming to earn before you start planning of coming to the USA. Therefore, a signed contract with a US-based school that is employing you. You must receive that while you're still back in your home country. Evidence of teaching experience. This might come from recommendation letters that are normally around 3. One of them from your principal, the deputy principal, and probably a colleague that you've worked with in a school for quite some time, people who know you and people who have good intentions. So they go ahead and write a letter about you. So that is also a requirement. Evidence of teaching experience. Apart from that, we also talk about the aspect of having what you call what? Credential evaluation, showing that your documents were, if you have a degree in your home country, that degree is equivalent to a US-based degree. And this credential evaluation is done in the US. So what you simply do, you look for organizations that are carrying out this one. The popular one is Spantram. Then they are sent to the US, where credential evaluation will take place. I've said all these particular documents, I have attached them in the comment section as the first comment. So go to the comment section. For those of us after watching, listening, also read through, comment. Let's do this together. Let's support each other. Subscribe for me. Share, like, give us your opinion as we teach each other. As I've always said, learning is a continuous process. I may not have mentioned everything, but I believe I've tried as much as I can to touch on 1 or 2, 3 things that are very necessary. Always ensure you have your academic documents there that are ready. That is a must, because remember, you're looking for a job. So that is compulsory that your academic documents are supposed to be right. So as I've said, these particular requirements can vary slightly depending on the various J1 sponsored organizations and the specific teaching program. So it is important to check with the program sponsor and also for their detailed list of documents. They might vary from one sponsor to another. So keep in touch as we continue to bring you more information over the same. Thank you so much. See you then. Let's support each other. Thank you.